Welcome to Deep Thought, the power of setting goals. Now, I've probably talked about this maybe on my business channel and maybe in one of my Sunday messages, setting goals, but I want to get into the metaphysics of setting a goal. Understand something. When you set a concrete goal, you send a message to your spirit, or if you don't want to get that deep, your subconscious, that this is what you want. Say you have a goal to make, I don't know, $30,000. Nah, I was going to say for a special. Okay, yeah, $30,000 for the down payment for a decent sized house. You set that goal. What'll happen is it's more than just setting the goal, but it's also having the desire for it that is just so bad that this is important, that this consumes you. And you send that energy into your subconscious, your spirit. Your spirit is like a genie. Your spirit is like a genie. It gives you what you want bad enough. Now, if you want it bad enough, you're like, you know what, I got to get this house. I got to get out this neighborhood, whatever. And you need $30,000 down payment to get a decent sized house. What it'll happen is your spirit will start changing your outer conscious personality to the point where you can do the things necessary to get that 30,000. Like, say you're a person, you're just a regular worker. You're not great, but you're not bad. All of a sudden, you will start seeing the results of what the genie is saying. Now, it's not a magic thing. Now, I know you got some people in the New Age community who just feel like, hey, if just as long as you imagine it and want it and think you got it, you'll get it. It's very simplistic, but I mean, they got part of the thing right. But what it is, and is the mechanics of what's happening. Okay, you want it bad enough, you feel like it, you desire it, and this is an important piece. You desire it to the point it's almost a sexual feeling that you get when you think about it. I say almost. You get that. Well, I'll throw out the term, but that's another podcast to talk about that kundalini, like that sexual energy. Like, that's how bad you want it. Just the same way that a person might want to have sex with another person. What you're doing is taking that same energy and putting it in something else. So all of that's going into your subconscious, your / spirit. All right, so you might not notice the changes at first in you, but then you might be on the job and start working a bit harder and doing a little bit extra, like just to get extra money or something like that. Now, you already consciously know that you want to get extra money, but subconsciously, that's where it counts, because you can want to consciously get extra money, but then don't do anything extra to do it. So that's when all of a sudden you might get more money on your job. That's when all of a sudden you hadn't been paying attention to part-time jobs or something. You might just all of a sudden just see a sign, or you just get a sudden urge to go through, go on the internet, see what extra is out there. What can you do to make extra money? All of a sudden you'll find that when you want it bad enough, you'll find it. Like I told a story before when there was a time I needed, even though I had the business going, I needed extra money, and I was able to. All I did was hit the pavement and found 2 part-time jobs the same day. And that's because I wanted it bad enough. See, all of a sudden that kicks in. All of a sudden you start noticing stuff that you didn't notice before. You might notice, all of a sudden you might notice a new job opportunity. You're working hard on the job you got, but then you might see something that you qualify for that you can get paid for more. All of a sudden, you develop saving habits. All of a sudden you don't need that extra. You don't need that extra book. You don't need those extra pair of shoes. You don't have to pay for that program or whatever. Whatever you spend your money, all of a sudden it starts going into your savings. Because what had happened is you'll start developing the traits to want to save, because it's backed by your subconscious, your spirit. You'll make the money, probably a little bit more. That's the goal. Now, that's something that salespeople know. When they want those sales bad enough, they make that goal. I'll use an example. The first month I was a full-time sales manager at this gym. And I went into the final day of the month. I needed to get 16 sales to make my goal. That's how bad, and I wanted it bad. I came in the morning. I started getting on the phone. I started making deals that the manager kind of like winced at, but I was like, no, I'm going to do this. And I actually needed 13 sales, but I got 16 because I was doing what I needed to do that day. I wanted it bad enough. Now, contrast that with the next month. I didn't make my sales go, but I didn't want it bad enough. There was some funky stuff going on at that particular gym. So I didn't want it bad enough, but I didn't set the goal. I didn't want it. I was getting turned off to it. But that's the power. But see, in order to access that power, you have to know exactly what you want. And then have a general idea of the means to get it, but as long as it's realistic, like if you say, well, I want to make $1 million in a year, then that might be pushing it. That might be pushing it where you're at now, because one of the keys to setting that goal is being able to realistically make that goal. Like 30,000, yeah, it might be realistic for you to make it, especially if you might not have a time limit on it. Now, if you put a time limit on it, that might make a bit of a difference. But if you're just saying, okay, I'm gonna save 30,000 and do whatever, boom, you could probably make it. But if you got something like just crazy, outlandish, like, yeah, I'm gonna get like, I'm gonna get a law degree in 1 year. Yeah, that doesn't work. They don't do it like that. So as long as it's realistic. But the thing is, it's going into your spirit. You telling your spirit, this is what I want to do. Write down the goal. Write it down, put it up, because then you see it. You need to look at it every day. I remember when I first got started on YouTube, I had something above my computer. It said upload. Because when I first started, I would just post like once a week. That was like a big thing for me. But then I said, no, upload. I got to do better. Upload. All of a sudden, it's to the point where I can upload for all of my channels on one day. And I was like, yeah, because my subconscious backed it. Because one thing with your subconscious, your spirit, it starts seeing things, or starts letting you see things, causing you to see things. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, I could do all that in one day. All I had to do is don't do this. Don't watch that TV show. Manage my time better. I can do all of this. It'll start finding the ways for you to reach that thing, provided you're willing to do the work. Now, see, sometimes people set a goal and then they sit back. They don't do anything. Well, the subconscious probably got an idea how to get there. It's like it's sitting back saying, well, I know how I can get you there, but you got to take the step. I'm just here chilling. I'm just the horse. You got to tell the horse where to go. The horse, if you don't direct the horse going to sit there and just eat some grass. That's what your subconscious is going to do. It's like, yeah, he say he wanted, but, he ain't directed me and anything like that. And I can't give him the energy, the power to do it. He ain't driving. You don't want me to drive. Oh, shoot, that's another podcast. That's something I need to get into. Last thing you want is let the subconscious drive, and a lot of people let it drive. Well, even then, and this is a little tangent, they not really letting it drive. Some people outside of themselves is driving it for them. I probably covered this in a different way in different podcasts. But that's the power of it. And once you access that power, it's really very little you can't do within reason. Like I said, it got to be realistic. But it's realistic you can make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. It's realistic. It's realistic. And that's just one example. It could be, you could be in the gym or something saying, I'm a bench press 300. Your subconscious say, oh, okay. Well, you need to practice and do all that. That's simple. Or, run a marathon or something. You can do all of that. So, anyway, that's all I got for today. As always, think on this. Peace and many blessings.